Hello, you've reached the Cloud Ruler Temple. How may I assist? Oh, Grandmaster Joffrey. Yes, of course. Captain Stefan isn't available at the moment. He and a few of the Blades are participating in a team building exercise. Yes, we have someone running a cooking class in the Great Hall. Anyway, can I take a message? You're arriving shortly with a guest? A very important guest. Understood. And there's been a loss of an artifact? Was it recently cataloged or? No, of course, not something we typically track. I'll make a note. You're also bringing a Breton woman into the fold. Okay, understood. Will she be formally joining the order or just freelance contracting? Oh, time will tell. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll begin prepping the onboarding packet now. Just to confirm, does the standard probationary period still apply? Well, we usually reserve about 2 weeks for background screenings, orientation, and personalized gear shipment from Central Armory. Of course, exceptions can be made, yep. I'll notify Captain Stefan. The Blades will be briefed for your arrival. But please note the third shift morale is kind of mixed at the moment. They weren't invited to the cooking class. All right, thank you. We'll be ready. Travel safe. Towels protect.
Thanks for sitting down with us. Can you tell us a little bit about your role here at Cloud Ruler Temple?
Definitely, yes. So I just joined about 6 weeks ago, actually, and I'm still technically onboarding. I came from a fintech startup, which was very, very different. So I'm ramping maybe a little bit slower than I anticipated. But at the end of the day, it's all of your standard people ops stuff, performance reviews, onboarding, offboarding, Dragon Break compliance. So I'm familiar with all those things. It's been exciting though. The Blades are very good about documentation. They're very thorough. So it reads more like a historical record than an HR manual. They even have engagement survey results from Third Era 38, and their ENPS has been consistently high through the years. So I'm really happy I took this offer and not the one with the Mages Guild and Coral. I hear that whole place is a mess right now.
So, we've heard rumors that the Emperor's heir is alive. Can you confirm or deny that?
I'm not really privy to such details. They're not looping me into anything strategic right now. But there has been a lot of rushed whispering in the hallways. So I'm guessing there might be some truth to that. The guy showed up last week, followed by a strange looking Breton woman who had like mismatched pieces of armor and clothing and had obviously fought wolves that very morning. She literally still had blood on her boots. But she seems to have done a good job since all of her limbs were still attached in the right places. The guy did look kind of regal, as much as a monk can look. So yeah, inconclusive, but my best guess is, yeah, that's the air.
What was the atmosphere like the day he arrived?
Oh, many people were bewildered, but some, I think, were not surprised at all. The housekeeping team, though, sure was. Nobody let them know ahead of time that they had to make room for him to eat, sleep, and conduct rituals. They totally threw a fit, but it didn't escalate because Captain Stefan gave them a very stern talking to. Apparently, they also wanted to give that woman a place to stay, but she just bolted as soon as she had the chance. She also borrowed someone's horse, but I'm not sure I heard that right. All in all, spirits were lifted that day, minus the laundry emergency.
Did you receive any formal communication from leadership about what's going on?
No, they're keeping it very hush hush. Grandmaster Joffrey says everything will be addressed in the next all hands, and they just keep deleting all the Slack messages in the general channel that even lightly touch upon this topic. We've received one scroll from senior leadership. It had a wax signet that I've never seen before and just said, "Protect the Septim. Don't let her unsupervised into the armory." I assume her refers to the Breton woman. I hear she was carrying the Amulet of Kings around in a burlap sack labeled miscellaneous. Not a great look for an imperial artifact.
Has your role or scope of work changed since the heir arrived?
Yes, but not because of him. We've received an influx of memos from provincial leadership about Oblivion Gates opening up all across Cyrodiil. And apparently, stuff that comes out of them just decimates local populations, wildlife, and businesses. So, in addition to my normal workload, I am now also drafting the business continuity plan, Daedric Crisis Edition. I'm using our old vampire contingency framework as a base, but the scale is different. We didn't account for portals to the Deadlands in the original tabletop exercise.
What are the biggest challenges you're facing in your role right now?
Well, it's probably just navigating all the normal processes without knowing if things are actually normal. Since no one is telling me anything, I'm just prepping the perf review cycle per the HR calendar I've been given. I mean, unless an Oblivion Gate opens up in the courtyard, I don't see why we wouldn't do it. That said, I am on high alert for an Oblivion Gate opening up in the courtyard, because I'm not entirely sure if the alleged presence of the Heir is a deterrent or a target on our backs. It's kind of hard to plan for Q2 goals when Mehrunes Dagon might crash your all hands.
It appears the Blades are in high alert mode. Has that affected day-to-day operations?
Oh, it has. So everyone used to be hybrid, like 1 or 2 days in the office max. But ever since the Emperor died, may Talos rest his soul, everyone who's on payroll keeps showing up day after day, and most of them don't even go home. That's in part why the maintenance crew lost it, because their workload increased 300% overnight. They couldn't handle one more pillowcase in the wash, and I don't blame them. I've also been running the catering service liaison with the vendor in Bruma, and they're a bit frustrated as well. We started placing massive rush orders day after day. It's been relentless on them, but they do need the business, so they're working very hard to meet our needs. You'd be surprised to know how many of these people are gluten intolerant.
How's the staff reacting to the sudden shift in mission?
Oh, I think they waited their whole lives for this. They're grieving, and obviously they're a bit insecure about failing their primary mission. But to be completely honest, I think most of them hoped for an opportunity like this. They all seem to be trying to prove something to their superiors, their coworkers, their wives, and I'm guessing themselves. This type of crisis is what most of them hoped to have at least once in their career. There are also promotions on the line, and I think the annual bonuses this year are going to be merit-based and pretty substantial, at least based on my latest chat with the guy in finance.
Are there any changes to security protocols we should be aware of?
Well, I guess you guys got in with no problem, right? No changes from what I have seen. I think the people are like, if something hostile is entering, bring it on. There's like 25 fully armored guys in the courtyard at all times of day and night.
Has this affected onboarding, training, or performance review cycles in any way?
Not yet, although I do anticipate there might be some operational changes if and when they announce the Heir as legitimate. And obviously depends on any security threats in and around the temple. Once that Oblivion Gate opens up, everyone goes on Daedric standby. It's a part of the new business continuity plan. I can show you.
Are you personally concerned about your own safety in the current situation?
Honestly, not at all. This is likely the best place to be in a situation like this. I'd be more worried if I was stationed at the Imperial Palace right now. I hear they've had cultists infiltrate the break room. One of them apparently replaced all the Nespresso pods with the decaf before they caught him. Diabolical. The other one was just leaving Daedric collateral in the bathrooms. None of that happening here. And obviously no emperors dropping dead. Yet.
What's your read on the new arrival? Does he seem prepared for leadership?
Honestly, I like him a lot. He's been very kind and very considerate every time we've had a chance to work together. You know how some people in leadership won't even respond to your emails unless you're like a senior manager or above? None of that with him. He actually helped me refine the business continuity plan considerably and gave great notes. Also recommended we stagger our guard shifts to reduce burnout. That's leadership. I hope he's legit. He'd make a great emperor.
What do you think is going to happen next?
Well, I'm honestly just waiting for the all hands next week. And, if it turns out that we have the new emperor on premises, I'm guessing we're shifting gears from simply defending the realm to reinstating the dragon bloodline, which is much better to have on your CV either way. If not, this is still a great place to work, and I'm sure there will be many, many learning opportunities. So, yeah, it's a win win either way. Hi, Cyrus. Hi, yes. Yes, I did receive your note. That's actually why I'm calling. I just thought it would be better to discuss some of these details over the phone rather than in writing. So, just to make sure we're on the same page, you're referring to the woman who escorted a guest up from Wayne Priory. Yes, she returned recently. No, she has not been officially badged yet. What sort of behavior are we talking about exactly? Okay. Enter the restricted wing. She said she was just exploring? Did she take anything? Right. Like all the calipers? Needed them for a friend? I see. And you're telling me she summoned a flame Atronach in the Great Hall because her soup went cold? Interesting. No, her background check hasn't cleared yet. Let me refresh the page. No, nothing. Yeah, I don't know why she keeps dropping pieces of raw meat in the courtyard. She said it was for the cats? I wasn't aware we had any cats on the premises, but I could be wrong, I guess. Yes, I'll escalate this to Stefan and start a behavioral review. In the meantime, best keep her off the onboarding path. I'll document everything, yeah. Thanks again. Keep me posted if anything else comes up.
So, what exactly is an Oblivion Gate?
Essentially, it's Tamriel's least regulated form of interplanar commerce. Think of it like a pop-up event hosted by Mayroom's Dagon. But instead of samples and coupons, you get scamps. They're unstable portals that have opened up between Mundus and the Deadlands. Most recently, because the Dragonfires went out. They tend to appear near cities, roads, or wherever you have scheduled a nice nature hike with friends this weekend. So yeah, you can think of them as Daedric networking mixers, but with more pain. Hi everyone! Thank you for attending this week's Cloud Ruler Temple All Hands. So we have a few critical updates. Number one, the Heir is confirmed. He is currently on site, so please adjust your behavior accordingly. Second, our primary mission has now officially shifted from Blade's operational defense to reinstatement of the Dragon Bloodline. And finally, the business continuity plan, Daedric Crisis Edition, is now live. You can find a full document in Notion under Daedric Crisis Management. It is color-coded for your convenience. Additionally, just a few quick reminders. Please submit any catering feedback through the usual channels, and just know that they're doing their best with the new workload they're facing. If you're stabling a horse, please label it clearly. We've had a couple of incidents last week. And if you are feeling unwell, please take a sick day, really. We can't do another round of flu. It wiped out the entire East Watch last time. That's it for me. Let's keep things running with dignity and order and, watch out for those Oblivion Gates. Over to you, Grandmaster.